guys are 48th, right?
Yes.
And you're 9th in this league. That's a heck of a league.
Yeah, it is. I think everybody's going to postseason. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. What the Greenbrier, what does it mean for the program to bring that thing here and also to have it at the Greenbrier?
Yeah, Greenbrier's got a lot of history and tradition. Obviously, it's Sam Snead and it's hosted a Ryder Cup before. Obviously, it hosts a PGA Tour event every single year. And when people think of golf in West Virginia, that's probably the first thing they think of is the Greenbrier. And then just part of our rotation for championships, traditionally it goes Southern Hills, which is in Tulsa, Prairie Dunes in Kansas, and then Whispering Pines in Texas. And all those are great golf courses. And we felt like this would fit into that mold of great championship golf courses. And I know the conference is they're excited about coming there, playing at the Greenbrier, and it's an awesome place to play, especially when the tour plays there. So our guys have seen it on TV. You see it every summer, Old White. So that's pretty cool to play at a tour event or tour golf course.
How hard of a sell was it to get them to come up here? I mean, you're talking about climate. I'm sure there were concerns about West Virginia in April, the weather, all of that stuff. Was it a hard sell to get them to convince them to come?
I think initially it was just because they wanted to stay with the familiar golf courses, familiar areas.
Right.
But I remember being out Prairie Dunes about 2 years ago, and it was maybe 35 degrees. The wind was blowing up to 40 miles an hour. They had to cancel, one of the rounds because it was blowing so hard. And some of the coaches asked me, like, what's the weather like at the Greenbrier? So I pulled up on my phone and it said, it's sunny, 62, wind about 3 to 5 miles an hour. And they said, sold. Like, let's just go. Let's try it out, see what happens. And so I think that helped.
Well, I think, too, when you look at that course, it's down in the valley. It's not a hilly course per se, right?
Right.
It's all white is all set down in between the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. We had some coaches. I think we ran into Kansas at Irish Creek, right? And so they're like, how hilly is it going to be? Is it still going to be dormant? I'm like, look, it's always green, because we have that winter bent grass and ryegrass. Like, it's going to be green. And I said the first shot you tee off and then you go down and it's flat,
right.
And Sharps played it. We went down there a few times last year, so it's a pretty flat golf course. When you think of West Virginia, it's definitely flat.
Have you? How many times have you played the White?
I think this will be my third time. We've been down there twice. So.
How does it play compared to the other Big 12 courses that you've been on?
I'm a sophomore. Last year I played at Southern Hills, and that was a really good test. I think Greenbrier will just be as hard. It's a great track, be challenging, but we're up for the fight.
Greens good to read?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about the layout itself? Long? Do they set the tees back for the tees? How are they going to do that?
They usually set it up hard. I mean, every Big 12 championship I've been a part of, I mean, it's as hard as the golf course can play. They may do some, if they do a tricky hole location, they may move the tee boxes up to kind of entice you to go for it. But, I mean, they set it up like a U.S. Open. And, you think about the kids playing it. The guy that just finished low amateur at the Masters will be there. Doug Gim, who played in the Masters last year, was at Southern Hills, and the year before that, Brad Dalkey. So these are the best amateurs in the world. So they're gonna tip it out. They're gonna tuck the pins, and usually even pars is a good score.
I know you were instrumental in getting the champion to play in the PGA event. Walk me through that a little bit. What was the?
I think it kind of started when you remember Alan Cook? He won the
right.
West Virginia Amateur. He was a senior for us, so I went down there to watch him, and I just noticed how when he was paired with these pros, these pros that's how they make their living, right? And so when you get somebody new in the pairing, maybe the caddy is new, the amateur's not playing a lot of tour events, they can sort of be tripping over their own feet, and sort of getting in the way, and they feel bad. So and the Greenbrier's always had a tradition of the West Virginia Amateur and the Haskins Award winner. And Haskins Award is given to the best player in college golf. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it would be cool to have a pairing totally separate where you have the West Virginia Amateur, the Haskins Award winner, and then the Big 12 champion, who is traditionally a kid that's about to go on tour anyhow. So if you could have that sort of marquee pairing, that way those guys don't feel awkward, and it can be the Greenbrier could sell us like, hey, we give these guys their start in professional golf, and they would always have a soft spot for the Greenbrier Classic every year, and maybe a return when they get out there on tour. So that's kind of how it all started, and luckily the Greenbrier was on board, and so it's been a good pairing so far.
And then the PGA Tour, right? They just have to okay it, and then you're good to go. So it was a pretty simple process.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. I mean, the Greenbrier actually makes the call. They get, since they sponsor that event, they get so many spots, and it was more so getting them on board, and the tour is fine with it.
What does this mean for the program, though, to be able to bring this event to the state and in that area? I mean, this is a big boost for you, like I would imagine.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm just glad I'm not having to get on a plane, tomorrow and go fly to somewhere. And I think it's a good chance to showcase West Virginia, the whole state. Yes, West Virginia University golf, but really just the whole state, getting the best teams from across the country, and the best amateurs from across the country to show up, and I think it's great.
All the teams are staying at the resort, is that correct?
Yes, all teams staying at the resort.
So my understanding is that other events, certain schools get to stay in certain places, and certain schools that are off the site a little bit, which is a little bit of an advantage, right? So everybody's going to have an equal playing field here, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And I mean, the Greenbrier is huge. I mean, it's a huge resort. Right. And we've told teams, hey, when you pull into the gate on Wednesday, you won't have to leave until Sunday afternoon. Right. There's no like driving 45 minutes and then trying to find an Applebee's on the way back. Like, it's it should be all inclusive once you get there, and that's what the Greenbrier is about. Just hospitality and great golf, and I think it's going to be a good setting. Plus, you have a lot of other events going on that week, so hopefully we'll have a lot of fans out there watching.
Matt, are you happy with the way you're playing this year?
Oh yeah. I think I've got like five top 10s or 15s. Just putting everything together. I'm really confident in myself, and hopefully keep that going at Big 12s.
I understand that you were just one spot out of all Big 12 last year, right? So that's a goal this year, is to get in the top 10 and be all Big 12. We had one before?
No, Max missed barely his freshman year, and then nobody was close the second year, and then Sharp played pretty good last year.
So you're close. That's obviously a goal this weekend, is to get the top 10. I mean, you got the #1 amateur here, you got the #1 collegiate here, you've got it's a pretty good field, huh?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like I can win. I feel like I can go there and win because I feel like I'm just as good as they are. So, I feel like I can compete with anybody.
Do you know who you're paired with? And when do you guys make those?
Kansas State, I believe.
Yeah, Kansas State for the first day. And
so
then
you'll walk with Kansas State. Quickly, how do you set that up? Explain that to me. You're with Kansas State's #1, and that's how you.
Right. So I'll play with Kansas State's 1, and then so the West Virginia 2 will play with their 2 guy, so on and so forth.
Is he a pretty cool guy? You know him? Have you played with him
I
before?
don't even know who I'm playing with.
I don't know, but they had a guy win the Big 12 last year. Kansas State guy won it. But it's kind of unique. Most events we play in, we're in a group of 3 or maybe even 4.
Yeah.
This one's so unique in that it's just a twosome. It's you and one other guy, and even though you're not playing match play by any means,
right?
But it's just a cool feeling. You get a live score with each group. You got rules officials there, and it moves pretty quick. Some events we go to, I think at Charlotte we're in 4s and riding in carts. It just feels like a corporate outing. This feels like a true USGA final round. At the U.S. Amateur or U.S. Open. From the get-go, from the first round to the final round, so it's pretty cool.
Easy course to walk too, right? So that's not an issue. Have you been there enough to kind of map out a strategy, or did you just kind of go? Does the weather dictate that? I'm sure a little bit.
Well, I mean, last year the weather was pretty bad the last round, and I mean, if you look at the scores, they were all relatively fair for the first 3 rounds, and then the last round it's like 2 more strokes harder. So I mean, the weather always dictates how you play, but I mean, if you got a good mindset, you can go out there and shoot a good number given the conditions that they are.
Memory serves me correct. Links course too, right? Or did they straight lengthen it out?
I don't think so.
No, I mean it's
no.
It's CB McDonald design, so it's got a lot of template holes. So He's got like number 3 is called a Barrett's green, so it goes down. It's got a huge valley.
Right.
You got the Redan on number 8, so you kind of hit it up against the slope and it feeds back to the hole. You've got these template holes, Cape, which means it's by the water, and so it's just kind of these classic design holes. The thing there is you've got to pick your spots. So you've got these well-placed bunkers, and it creates these different angles. Are you going to go with this bunker but leave it just short of it,
right,
or are you going to try to carry it? You got to be a bit more aggressive. So it's really all about the fairway bunkers there and avoiding those, and having a strategy. And obviously the weather's going to dictate it. So if we tee off early and it's 42 and the wind's coming out of the north about 10,
right,
that's certainly going to play a factor. And then if it's 80 degrees and sunny and downwind, now you can take it over that. So you really gotta take those things into consideration. That's something that Matt's done a great job of compared to his freshman year, just coming out of the gate, just trying to hit every club as hard as he can. Now he does a great job of calculating, where's the wind coming from, where do I want to leave it, is this playing a little bit uphill, take a little bit off this 6-iron. And I mean, that's why he's become a world-class player, because of able to take those things into consideration.
Driver wedge, that's your game, right? That's what you want to try to get to your wedge. Is that
I mean, I hit the ball pretty far, so if I got a wedge in my hand, just go straight at the flag.
Is there any, you mentioned that, is there any holes where you can cut the corners or play over the trees, or
Not that I remember.
No, if you remember.
I mean, there's a couple, like, where there's tree line, and then you gotta kind of cut it around it, but I feel like that course is like a left to right golf course, and I hit a cut, so that'll be in my favor.
Right. Well, I mean, and obviously too, the wind, I would imagine in the valley, it probably swirls when it goes through. Is that something that, so it could go anyway, depending upon where you're teeing off and what direction you're going, right?
Mm-hmm.
What as a player here, as somebody who's been in this program now 2 years and has been a part of the growth, just talk about the importance of this event, and also too what it means, I guess, to the state in your mind. How do you characterize that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. I feel like West Virginia has one of the best fan bases in the country. To be able to host it, it's an honor, and I think just being a part of it is amazing. I'm really excited just to get down there and start playing and represent West Virginia.
What about playing in this league? I mean, there's going to be there'll probably be of the teams here. You'll probably have about a half dozen to a dozen people are going to be on a tour here in a year or two. I mean, that's a pretty good field of golfers you're going to be playing in.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the best golf conference in the country. So to be a part of that is special. I mean, just getting to play against best players in the world, that's all you can ask for as a collegiate golfer. Just to, like in the regular season, it's fun to go try and compete against Oklahoma State, but when you're competing against 5 top 20 programs, you can't beat it. And we just got to go down there and try to play the best golf we can.
Did you follow what's his name, Havlin's round at the Masters?
Hovland.
Yeah. Did you follow it a little bit? Or?
I got to see some highlights of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Were you guys on the playing?
We were playing. Yeah, we were playing at Penn State. We saw Tiger play the last 2 holes.
Guess to see the last 2 holes of that. Yeah. So, well, I mean, this is a great opportunity for you, and I guess right now the way it sits, where your team ranking is, looking pretty good for the national tournament. So that's another big thing that you wanted to check off your list, right?
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, that's would have never thought that a couple years ago.
Right.
So I mean, I thought year 4 we might have a chance maybe to be a bubble team, but right now, I mean, to be honest with you, I told the guys, I was like, we're good. We're going to go down there. We don't have to finish.
No pressure.
Yeah, exactly. No pressure. Let's just go add some icing on the cake this weekend. Let's see what we can do. I didn't want them going down there thinking, okay, we need to finish X or shoot X. Like, doesn't matter. Like, we've done all our work. We've already accomplished what we want to accomplish. We're trying to get ready for regionals. This is a great event, and this is kind of like, playing in a World Golf Championship, but knowing you're in the Masters the next week. So, like,
Yeah.
there's no pressure. So just go down there. It's everything we do there can only help us. There's nothing we can do this week that will hurt us at all. So let's go enjoy it.
I guess for you, it's nice to continue to play with that logo on instead of starting to concentrate on your summer season, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What's it mean for you to be a part of that? I guess the last time a team here went to the national tournament would be 1947. Is that correct?
A regional, yeah.
A regional,
I don't even know
yeah.
how they did those back then.
They
so.
did regionals.
Well, regional, so
Yeah.
I think they played in Michigan or someplace or whatnot. But for you, for somebody who's a part of this, that's building this, what's it mean to you to be a part of a team that's going to be a regional team?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think we've started to become really close as a team. Like, we're not just teammates, we're brothers. And I feel like that's really helped our game. Just coming close and knowing that we're playing for each other and playing for the state of West Virginia. I mean, it's just awesome to be a part of.
And no, like you said, no pressure
Exactly.
down into Greenbrier. Just go down there and have fun and try to put some low scores up. Right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
All right.
Very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.